Today is a good day, guys. Let's go. Welcome back to another one. And today, I am going to be previewing the Edmonton Oilers, the team that I watch the most. I know about the most. So I'll actually sound not like an idiot this video. And I'm happy because finally, I'll be understood and people might know what I'm saying. It'll be so nice. Alright, just like usual, we're going to start off this preview with their last 3 seasons. Alright, in 2018-19, the Edmonton Oilers won 35, 38, and 9. They finished 7th out of 8th in the Pacific Division. They underperformed that year, especially when you have, I believe that was the year that they was like the first time in a long time where a team had two 100-point scores and didn't make the playoffs, which is really impressive. That just shows their very good depth that they have in Edmonton, still do have. In 2019-20, the Oilers went 37, 25, and 9, finishing 2nd out of 8 in the Pacific Division. But they got eliminated in the qualifying round to Chicago. I remember how sad I was watching that. I was like, well, that one was actually goaltending sucked that series. Goaltending was horrible. This past season, 2020-2021, they went 35, 19, and 2, finishing 2nd in the North Division, and they got swept by the Jets in the first round. So as you can see, Edmonton Oilers, great playoff performers as well. Was not Smith's fault this year, though. It was definitely just forwards. McDavid didn't perform as well as we were expecting. Like, a point per game is good, but, like, not McDavid and Draisaitl level. Draisaitl led us in points, I think, in the playoffs. Last season, analytics. In goals, 3.27 per game, which is 7th in the league. You expect them to be at the top when you have McDavid and Draisaitl on the team. That's just how it works. And goals against, 2.75, which was 11th in the league. Now, I could see this coming down because their defense, I feel, has a possibility of getting worse, but it also could get better, oddly enough, mainly because I look at Bouchard and I say he is amazing. He has the ability to, if Tippett gives him a chance, which he didn't last year, which is stupid, he barely played, which I think was a mistake on Tippett's part. I actually don't like him as the coach very much. But Bouchard, if he really steps up and gets that opportunity, I could see him moving to the first pairing. But the goals against probably goes down, I want to say, because the chances of Smith, who's 39 years old, holding those numbers are small. Power play percentage, 27.6, not much to say there. First in the league, Edmonton 08, when you got McDavid, Draisaitl on a power play, that's just how it is. And penalty kill, 82.5, which is 9th in the league. So very good special teams. And I'm pretty sure their penalty kill was a little bit rougher to start the first half, but the second half was really good, bringing them to 9th. And yeah, so let's look at their projected lines. So the Oilers. First line, you've got Zach Hyman, Connor McDavid, and Jesse Puljujärvi. Zach Hyman, I'm interested to see how he plays. I feel like his contract will look good for the first 3 or 4 years, and then it'll start looking bad towards the end. But his points should actually stay the same or go up, considering he's playing with Connor McDavid. And then Puljujärvi, I expect him to break through, and he's a good complement player to McDavid, and that's a good first line. Very good first line, mainly because of McDavid. Second line, you got Hopkins, Draisaitl, Yamamoto. Hopkins, very good, just a good second line forward. Draisaitl, second best player in the league. Shut up, Toronto fans. Austin Matthews, not even. People who compare Matthews to McDavid, it's a joke. Compare Matthews to Draisaitl. Matthews and Draisaitl is actually a good comparison. And you could make an argument for both. And no, Draisaitl does not play with McDavid, so stop using that as an excuse. And Yamamoto, who's hoping to have a bounce back here. I feel like this is a good second line. Once again, Draisaitl and Hopkins. This is one of the best second lines in the league, I think. Mainly because of Draisaitl and Hopkins. And if Yamamoto bounces back, then this could be amazing. So, the problem with the Oilers isn't the top 6, though. It's usually the bottom 6. This year on the bottom 6 on Cap Friendly, it has Foegele, Turris, and Kassian. Personally, I know what the line should be in the Oilers, and I don't think they will look like that. I think McLeod will be the third line center, Ryan McLeod. who's on the scratches list. But Fogle, Turris, and Cassian is the third line. Fogle got 20. Fogel's a good third line forward. Maybe top 6 potential there. Turris, if he doesn't bounce back, this is the last year of his contract. But Turris needs to bounce back, or else, I don't think he'll be on the third line either way, though. And Cassian also needs to bounce back. Ken Holland definitely overpaid, and we all knew that at the start. When Ken Holland signed that contract after he had a career year, and he was playing with McDavid that year. That's why his points were so high. But McDavid does better without him anyway, so I don't know why he signed with that. And then on the fourth line, you've got Devon Shore, Derek Ryan, and Archibald. I like Derek Ryan and Archibald there. Devon Shore, I feel like, should be that depth forward that comes in when someone gets hurt. Who I think should be there is actually Tyler Benson. I want to give him a shot. Maybe try him up in the top 6. Try him somewhere. Just like the Oilers are refusing to give him a shot. And I'm getting people don't like his skating isn't the best. But his skating is the best, and yet he lights up the AHL every year. So I don't know why he hasn't gotten a shot at the NHL, just like a chance. And the one chance he got a couple years ago, he played 7 games, got an assist, but his ice time was so low. It was very low. He was playing fourth line, less than fourth line minutes. It was just insane. He hasn't got a real opportunity to play in the NHL yet. Moving to defense, where I have more questions. So on the top pairing, you got Nurse and Barry. With Barry, the points are deceiving. A lot of those points are because of playing with McDavid and Draisaitl, but hey, if you complement them well, I guess good for you. And Nurse is good defensively, good offensively. Still think we overpaid. I probably would have... It kind of sucks, though, because the defensive market's so high, so you kind of have to. But I would have waited till after this year, after the season, to sign him to a contract, because his contract doesn't end until next year. And if he has a bad year, because last year was a career year, and if he has a bad year this year, that contract's just going to look horrible. At $9 million, by the way. Tyson, so this first pairing, I think it's good. Barry's not good defensively, but he's a beast offensively. But I think it's a good first pairing. Second pairing, you got Duncan Keith and Cody Ceci. So Duncan Keith, you need him to bounce back. Maybe he'll bounce back playing in a lesser role for the Oilers. But when you're expecting a 38-year-old defenseman to bounce back, and why'd you take on his full cap, Ken Holland? I need that to be explained. But when they're just this second pairing, you're hoping Ceci plays as good as he did and Keith plays good. Now the third pairing I think is very good because you got Chris Russell and Evan Bouchard. Bouchard I think should be playing on the second pairing. Maybe honestly I'd play him on the first pairing with Nurse. His defensive numbers were fine last year. They weren't bad at all in the time he had in the NHL. And not only that, but he got 5 points in 14 games playing on the third pairing with no power play minutes. And he still got 5 points in 14 games. Honestly, I think he's a underrated Calder Trophy candidate. I don't think he'll win it, but if Tippett actually gives him a shot and puts him in that top 4 defenseman pairing, which Tippett didn't last year, which is stupid, because he's definitely good enough, then Bouchard could have a chance, or even contend, maybe. So I think their defense is okay, underrated. Goalies, Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen. Now, if you look at their numbers, you're like, oh, wow, this is a good pairing. Well, Smith is 39 years old, and we signed him to a 2-year deal. A lot of moves made by Ken Holland that I thought were questionable. And I'd just like to get this off my chest. Why did you trade down and not get Jesper Wallstedt? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, Mike Smith put up a .923 save percentage last year in 32 games. Mike Smith had one of the best years in his whole career at 38. So what's to think that he's going to do it at 39 years old? We should have signed him to a 1-year contract and then got rid of Koskinen, bought him out, got someone else in, because we had so much cap space. But a lot of that was spent on taking on Keith's full contract. What are some other stuff? CC, maybe a little overpaid. Let's see, what else is there? There were just a lot of moves that you can look at here. Cassian was overpaid, not this season, but Nurse next year will be overpaid probably. Even if he does the same thing he did last year, I think that could still be an overpayment. Barry, why did we bring back Barry? There's just so many things I can point out that save a little bit of cap space, especially the Duncan Keith move. But Koskinen pulled up a 900 save percentage. Remember when he let in 4 goals in 4 shots? Yeah, me too. But he needs to bounce back as well. You're depending on a 33-year-old who had a bad year to bounce back and a 39-year-old to have another good season. But we'll see how that goes. And then on the scratches, you got McLeod, Griffith, and Cuckoo. And like I said, I think McLeod will be on that third line. He's definitely going to be in. I don't think Turris will be in the lineup like Cap Friendly says. But I just feel like I need to mention that McLeod will probably play on that third pairing. Or not third pairing, third line. As for my prediction for the Edmonton Oilers goes, I think that they will finish second in the Pacific. And I feel like that's the easy way out. But really, that's where they probably will end up. You got Vegas, who's still really good. And then you got the California teams, the Vancouver and Calgary, an expansion team. And Edmonton's the only other team that's actually, built well enough. Especially when you got McDavid and Draisaitl on the team. So that's my prediction. 2nd out of 7th in the Pacific. Other Oiler fans, tell me what you think of this. I can already tell this preview is going to be one of my longer ones, maybe the longest, because I know the most about the Oilers, so therefore I can talk more about them. But thank you for watching if you're still here, and I'll see you in the next video. Loud.